The murder of a college co-ed on the grounds of a local museum.
She looked at the suspect in his eyes as he was killing her. She knew she was going to die.
What detectives need to finally put Paula Payne's killer behind bars. Everybody liked her. She didn't have a mean bone in her body. But still, somebody murdered 20-year-old Paula Payne. 37 years later, her killer still walks the streets and lives less than 10 miles from where I'm standing. Investigators don't have enough evidence to arrest him, but they hope this story changes that. Paula Jean Payne loved nature, especially birds. She graduated valedictorian from Dayton's Colonel White High School in 1975. And in the spring of 1977, Paula had just finished her sophomore year at Earlham College in Richmond and took a summer job teaching children at the Dayton Museum of Natural History.
She was a very, very good person. Came from a good family. And
Tom Hissong was Paula's boss at the museum. He remembers August 9th, 1977, like it was yesterday. That morning, Paula's alarm clock was set for 6:40. She left her Dayton home here on Manhattan Avenue shortly after 7 a.m., heading for the museum about a mile away. Her walk took her through Triangle Park, then up a trail in the woods toward the museum.
everybody had shown up except for Paula.
So the museum called Paula's house.
I actually was the one that got a phone call. So it was early in the morning.
Paula's sister and father jumped in the car and started searching. Tom and other museum workers started down the trail.
Came out into an opening and there she was. And that mental image will never be erased from my mind. I was absolutely, totally devastated.
Paula was naked with something tied around her neck.
I was very much, I had my hands in my face in my hands crying, and I was just screaming and sobbing.
The killer used Paula's shirt to strangle her.
Why is she a victim? Who was her enemy? She didn't have any.
Detective Patty Tackett works on Dayton's unsolved cold case murders.
She looked at the suspect in his eyes as he was killing her. She knew she was going to die.
Early on, investigators questioned several possible suspects.
For a variety of reasons, a suspect did, after a little bit of time, did come in that was fitting to be a good suspect in regards to this investigation.
Paula's sister told us the suspect went to middle and high school with Paula. And talking with Abigail via Skype, she has her own theory about the killer.
He wanted a relationship with her, and she only wanted to be friends.
Abigail said the suspect lived in their neighborhood. She told me the night before the murders, the two sisters were hanging out together. The phone rang, Paula picked it up, and it was the suspect. The two talked for a short time, but then Paula said she had to go because she was getting up early the next morning to come here and work at the museum. Abigail believes that suspect knew exactly what he was doing. He was planning her murder, and he waited in these woods while she walked up the trail that morning. Evidence on Paula's body showed the attack was sexual in nature.
Absolutely barbaric.
Weeks turned into months and no arrest. Eventually, the case wound up in an evidence box. Then in 2008, somebody called Detective Tackett about this case, and she reopened it.
Flashback to 1977.
Channel 7 aired it. I got lots of calls.
It was the last time anyone saw her alive.
The public's information helped Tackett figure out that after the murder, this suspect told a few of his closest friends he killed Paula.
And you have this family secret, or you have this buddy pact that you kind of do the spitting, and everybody agrees that we're going to all keep this to ourselves. Is that okay to do? No, it's not okay to do.
Tackett interviewed those friends, but said that pact still holds today.
I absolutely believe that they are just as responsible. You know what? They might not have been there when it happened, but they know of it, and that they know somebody. Do they still call this person a friend? Is this a person that you would call a friend that would take somebody's life?
So as part of our own investigation, we discovered his identity and called him at work. This is James Brown from Channel 7. How are you? He asked us to call back 5 minutes later on his cell phone, and when we did, all we got was his voicemail. A few hours later, his attorney called.
This person doesn't have any empathy. How can they love their wife and show love to their children and have this in the back of have this as a stain on their soul? I don't get it.
Today, Detective Tackett said this suspect has a wife, children, and is seen as an all-around nice guy, but he has a haunting secret.
for you to just live every day like it didn't happen? Or, you know, do you have demons? Do you need to get rid of those demons?
This individual is not judged in this life. They will be judged in the next life.
Investigators want to ease the pain for everyone involved in this case.
You need to put yourself at rest, you need to put Paula at peace, and you need to put her family at peace.